Because of what you've studied with respect to quantum theory,
Yeah.
have you ever pondered upon the existence of God, God?
Yeah.
So what do you think God is?
It depends. If I gave you the answer, you wouldn't be happy with it because you have a different idea of what God is.
I want to hear what you say.
I think you're going to be unhappy with it,
No,
but
no,
let's give it a shot.
there's no unhappiness.
Okay.
Like I could have sat and debated that ghost thing with you if I really wanted to, but I'm here to access your mind during the time that I have with you.
I appreciate that. I don't know what to assign. And let me use the Jewish name, Hashem. Shem means name, Ha means the. So we just say the name.
Hashem.
Hashem. There are different things that Hashem could be to me. One thing Hashem could be is 4 degrees of freedom and a prescription for self-actualizing the multiverse, the observerse, universe, whatever you want to call it. Hashem could be a consciousness that brought those 4 degrees of freedom into being. Hashem could be nothing at all. Hashem could be something that communicates through the consequences of those 4 degrees of freedom. But my life's work has been to ask, how could you get all of this, the miracle of this conversation, out of the assumption that there were simply 4 degrees of freedom to begin with? You know, that treble, mid, bass, and reverb are enough to create everything you've ever loved, every emotion you've ever felt, every hope, every dream, every life form, every star that you've looked up at, lying on your back during a meteor shower. And it's been to take Hashem seriously, to treat it abstractly the way Muslims and Jews tend to, which is to say, I don't want to say too much. You know, Hinduism is very multi-level. You can access it at every level of sophistication. Same thing with Christianity. But there's a particularly depictive version that says, okay, this is, you know, an avatar where Hashem is an abstraction, and we don't tend to. We say that, you know, maybe God was interested in making man in his own image, whatever that means. I think it's really 4 degrees of freedom. I think that really all you need is 4 degrees of freedom to birth everything that you see in this room and in this world. And I think that miracle has been what I've been trying to do with my life.
What's the 4 degrees of freedom?
They don't have any name. They're not time and space by the time I'm talking about. They're before that. You ever see somebody get pregnant from a in vitro fertilization from IVF, and they'll show you a picture of a bunch of eggs that got implanted? At some point, you and I started life as fertilized eggs. How did that happen? Some egg gets fertilized and divides and divides and divides, and suddenly you're here with thoughts, and I have different ones, and we have speech. That is a miracle beyond all miracles. But the point is, the fertilized egg auto-catalyzed a human being in some sense. The 4 degrees of freedom are like a fertilized egg. That's what produces the majesty and mystery of everything.
The universe began with the Big Bang?
No.
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 What did the universe begin with?
4 degrees of freedom. The observerse begins with 4 degrees of freedom. You're asking me because I'm your guest. So I'm not giving you the Neil deGrasse Tyson answer. I'm giving you what I believe is true, is that this structure began with 4 degrees of freedom that cannot be explained.
Your higher level math points towards 4 variables. That's why you call it the 4 degrees of freedom?
You would know them later as X, Y, Z, and T, where T is time. Remember where you asked me the 4... Is time the 4th dimension?
Gotcha.
So this is before they get their labels.
Okay. And this is a scientific concept,
Yes.
what you speak of.
Yes, we would say a 4-dimensional manifold.
Wow. So one of them is time.
No.
One of them is T.
Begin before they get their labels. You see, you could have gotten X, Y, T1 and T2, where there's no Z, but they're 2 dimensions of time. Or you could have said, I'm going to call X, Y, and Z T1, T2, and T3, 3 dimensions of time. And I'm going to have only 1 dimension of space. And in that world, space will function as time. In other words, the problem that we're having is, normally speaking, we don't actually talk what our scientific beliefs are with a podcaster. We just say what everyone always says, and it's boring as hell. What I'm trying to tell you is, it could have been 2 dimensions of time, 2 dimensions of space. Could have been 4 dimensions of space, and we'd be frozen. This is before time and space get their form. You think, if you read the Judeo-Christian Bible, you have to separate the heaven from the earth. You separate the light from the darkness. You separate man from woman. Okay, well, something separated those 4 degrees of freedom later into time and space. And it chose 1 and 3. So one possibility, what Hashem is it's the thing that took 4 degrees of freedom that weren't present, created them, separated 3 from 1, and then let this miracle of bootstrapping work the way a fertilized egg becomes a human being. It's all pretty mind-blowing because we don't think in these terms. But again, I'm the only person who believes this hook, line, and sinker, but I think I'm right.
I've read some parallel things in Hindu philosophy. And
Tell me.
In India, we as a country like to believe that a lot of globally renowned scientists have turned to Indian scripture at some point, or at least it's a narrative that we get. I don't know how true that is. Somewhat true.
Yeah, Buddhism and Hinduism are frequently sought when people get frustrated with the Abrahamic vision, because we want different perspectives. But look, these are the deep wells of archetype. If you went back to like a Jordan Peterson version of it, it's worth knowing what the wells, like the what is it, Brahman and Atman, like this division between the instantiation of something and the well of it.
Wow.